doing again? Wonder who's actually staying. Sup? Oh, shoot, I forgot how to say her name. Shoot, there was a way to pronounce her name, whatever. Sup, Fazbear King, Fire Nation, Flamesword, Oblivion, M, Gaming Master, Malcolm, Fire Nation. Okay. I haven't worked on it too much, but I've gotten a little bit of progress, because honestly at this point I feel like I'm like split in every single way possible at the moment. Okay, this is kind of stupid. There we go. That's all I needed. Also, I'm just gonna mention, if you guys ever learn a language, like computer, I'm doing pretty well, Fire Nation. If you guys ever learn computer programming, don't start with the language. Start with what programming is. Start with very basics of programming. I'm just saying. Unless you, like, if you're not familiar with it whatsoever, it's like learning a completely new language. Like, I don't know. Just even people. Languages. What's up, Death, Dragon, Boneless Pizza, 30, my god, okay. What's up, Buckminster, Kamikaze, RC, Bread Gang, JT, Skate, Bread, I'm doing pretty well, RC. Like, if you really don't, like, if computer programming is completely foreign to you, like it is to me, definitely just start with programming itself. Do not start just jumping into a language. It just doesn't work. You won't learn as fast. Let's just go with that. Even if you may learn a little bit, but seriously, just learn. That's a big mistake I just made. I probably am gaming master. I am not doing college. What's up, Papa Pepperoni? And to be fair, I mean, I thought I'd pick up languages a little bit easier, but it's okay. I think once I get the basis of programming, like if I can actually grasp the very basics of programming, I think I can learn it very quickly, but I just need to gain the foundation. I tried to start from like the beginning, even though I had no idea what the heck I was even doing. That was a stupid idea. I should have just started with programming in general. Like, if you have no concept of programming, you have no idea how programming even works whatsoever, do not jump into a language. It gets pretty confusing fast if you don't, unless you hammer in every single concept at the very beginning, don't do it. I haven't done too much of programming because of the lack of fundamental knowledge. What's up, Edith? I have 8,600 diamonds. Very got it. Like, if I can get the fundamentals of programming down, I think I could pretty much learn a language pretty quickly, which is what I need, honestly. It's gonna be it's actually pretty fun to learn. I thought it was gonna be, to be fair, I mean, to be fair, I think the only reason I didn't learn programming is because I undervalued myself like I usually do anyway. So, yeah, that's the thing. So that video is outdated. Okay, what got me into programming? One thing that got me into programming is when I learned about my type with the genuine analytical psychology. Genuine? I don't know how to say it. The analytical psychology. I was looking into careers, and the person who was who made the video, who are the INFJs, he talks about, well, he doesn't talk about that particular lecture, but he mentions INFJs being the best, and it's actually useful, the usefulness of computer programming, and because, I forgot what else there was a reason, just to try it, mainly, is kind of another reason, and that's kind of a weird reason, and not really the best reasons. Another reason is because of, I kind of got my friend to try it, which kind of motivated me to try it. So, I guess there's that. It's kind of a collective. Welcome, Mike. Another thing is, it's also kind of fun learning it myself. Like, I love the aspect of, like, just doing everything myself. That shouldn't be too surprising, though. I love the solitude with it. It's also pretty fun with problem solving and just problem solving. PCP. I'm doing Python. I'm leaving Python because I know it's general knowledge of programming, and then I'll probably go into something more niche. I know you could do a lot of stuff, a decent amount of stuff with Python, at least for now. I want to go into just software, or application design, or just applications in general. That's what I'm planning on going into. And it's nice though, because I want that skill. It would be a really nice skill if you think about it. Like, I know I'm all about developing skills, especially something I can get good at, in general. And it's just something so useful to the point where, like, it literally does not matter where I'm at or whatever. If I just learn this skill, I basically have it. As long as I keep using it, at least to a bit, have some fun with it. I mean, why not have some fun with programming? It seems like you can have a lot of fun with it after a while. Along with doing other things. I don't know. I have no clue if Python's easier than binary. I just was suggested Python by, remember that argument me and that guy Jeremy had? He actually suggested me go into Python if I want to learn programming. And then go into other programs, like Rust is apparently a new one that's going to be a thing in the future. That's pretty sick. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get my friend back into it. I'm gonna do it myself, and then I'm gonna show him, since I don't know if he's actually started yet, actually going into it. I'm gonna learn it myself and then show him how I learned it. That's pretty much it. I'm basically giving him a step-by-step guide of the best way. I know people learn differently, but honestly, I think the way I'm trying to craft pretty much the best way to learn a code, um, learning a skill like coding, and you need the fundamentals, obviously. Like, that's something I need to stop doing. I need to stop jumping ahead of things, in terms of learning something. Unless, obviously, I know the fundamentals, like the analytical psychology. I learned the very, very, very basic. I just worked my way up because I knew the basics. I know that's very common knowledge, you would think, but you'd be surprised at how fast people jump into things. Especially me, without any prior knowledge. It's like if you literally have zero prior knowledge of computer programming, just start with the basics. Like, trust me, it makes so much more sense if you just start with what is computer programming. Just look at the core of what you're learning. Like learning anything, like for example, electricity or something like that, or like if you're trying to be an electrician or something like that, just learn what electricity is and the core fundamentals of it and stuff like that. Just look at the fundamentals. It's all about the fundamentals. It's like learning a game like Smash. You gotta get the fundamentals down before you even start picking up a character. Any game really, any game, any skill. That's something I learned, definitely. It's my thing about wisdom. I'm gonna actually discuss this. It's actually a great way to transition to this. What's up, Kid Boy Gaming? I've not done a face review yet. So yeah, if you ever learn a skill, please just look at the fundamentals. I mean, to be fair, some people here have an advantage over me because they're SI users, which means they can use the experience from other sources or other subjects to use, in that sense. But other types, like SE users, can't do that because they can't remember the they can't use the past fundamentals experience from other subjects to learn a skill. You literally just have to learn the skill completely from scratch, or not, maybe not entirely from scratch, but pretty much from scratch. So that's one big disadvantage some types have over other types when it comes to learning something. Oh yeah. So if you want to solve literally any problem in your life, I just saw a lecture of C.S. Joseph. Super powerful lecture. This is how important this type stuff is. There's a reason why I talked about this on stream. There's a reason why. It's actually incredibly important for self-growth and like literally solving any problem in your entire life. I'm not kidding either. Or yeah, pretty much every problem. Like memory problems or something like that. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not that type of memory. Not those type of problems. But like if you lack memory, look up a type that has bad memory and then ask them about memory problems, and then you can just say, yeah, you get the idea. So pretty much wisdom. What's up, Arnav? I have from Killing Ender Dragons. What's up, Pie Guy? Oh yeah, I need to go actually grab some water. Give me a second. Alright. Back. Alright, let's see. What's up, Jonah? Yeah, pretty much this entire project is basically one huge display of willpower and some perseverance, because honestly, I'll be honest here, willpower is not enough to do this project. As much as I like to admit, willpower cannot suffice in this project. You need, and this is coming from somebody that's literally just all about willpower. Willpower is not everything in this project. It's actually, it shows, I mean, it's a lot of willpower, but it's like, it's kind of perseverance in a way. It's not even self-discipline. This isn't really a showcase of self-discipline. Talk house should still be there, somewhere. Let me go check. Actually, it may be just a showcase of willpower because it's survivability. So Pyro. Also, I'm just gonna, whoever said something about this being a record, if somebody can ever mine even this amount of blocks in, I don't know if anybody's ever gonna mine, oh, there he is. If anybody, what's up, Nicholas, will ever mine this many blocks in their, like, I don't know anybody who's ever gonna actually mine this many blocks, like, ever. Like, seriously, this may be a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Minecraft lifetime, which is like 100 years, which would be insane. Like, I'm serious on that one. Like, I'm not kidding. I don't know if anybody's ever gonna do something like this again, mining this many blocks. Yeah, pretty much this entire project is just one display of willpower. One huge display of what willpower can really do. In this case, and a little bit of actually it's not really self-discipline, but yeah, I'm gonna stop repeating myself. Alright, so what I was mentioning earlier, alright, so this is how you solve all your problems. This is kind of why I like talk about this type stuff, all this analytical psychology. Typology, I guess is another way to say it. So honestly, people talk about how knowledge is power, but honestly, it's really not. It's not the power. It's really wisdom in its own right, and everybody hears that wisdom is like the best thing ever. It honestly really is, or at least one of the best things. Wisdom pretty much is using knowledge from failures. Actually, no, it's using the knowledge and learning a lesson from other people's mistakes or your mistakes in a given sense, I guess. So, short answer, how to literally solve any of your problems. Find out what your type is. You can literally just look on the Discord. It's personality typing. Hopefully they didn't put it in the graveyard. You can look up CS Joseph. Look on his website. This is an easier way to do it. I don't know why I send him to his channel. His channel is very disorganized. Kind of disorganized. Go to his channel, go to lectures, I think, and it should show a list of all of his seasons of how the type works. How the science works. Alright. So we got the type. You gotta figure out your type. That's the first thing. For sure, your type. learn how to type. Learn this. I mean, you don't have to learn every bit of this science, but at least learn the functions and your type mainly, and how you behave, your bad behaviors, good behaviors of each of the sides of your mind, which isn't that hard. It's only 4 types. Then just find, if whatever problem you have, just find a type in your little quadra space in your mind. This is why you have to learn how to type, people. Literally just look at their failures and basically become their mentor, like authors. It could be authors of books, it could be mentors, it could be teachers, it could be famous people. Maybe not famous people, but you know, you get the idea, like speakers, famous speakers, all that kind of stuff. Like nutrition or something like that. If you know your type, go to the type that is more involved with nutrition, and it has to be a type that's super similar to you to learn from them. Learn from your own type as well, because that's where you learn the most, is actually your own type, because you get to literally learn from yourself. You're literally learning from yourself in a way, because you have the same hang-ups as that other person. So if you can kind of just replicate what other people are doing. You know that famous saying, do what other people do, or whatever that phrase is? Or do what other people are doing and do it better. I forgot what the phrase is. Just do that with your type or your subconscious type. It's weird. It's weird. That's pretty much it. That's literally how you solve all your problems in a way. Like, there's no other... Also, what I meant by problems, I mean like problems in the sense of like lacking money, relationships, yeah, just financial, wealth, health, all the three big giant ones. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a good way to summarize it, at least. It's an interesting way to put it. A world burning right in front of us, yes. What's up, General? Tov. What? Where's the Coke? I would rather be the best at something, especially as the inferior. To a degree. Like, literally, I'm kind of supposed to master a skill and then just teach people the skill. Or not teach people the skill, literally use willpower to shake mountains and master a skill, because I can basically master any skill as long as I devote myself to it. And you know the weird thing about this is that once I start learning a skill, I kind of just start thinking about the skill. It doesn't matter. I'm consumed by what that I learn. Literally. That phrase, it's like, what you consume controls you. That's kind of what, that's what happens to me. To a degree. It's pretty useful, because it makes you, I recycle knowledge, and it becomes information, and then becomes knowledge, and then I can just keep learning, and then learning, and then learning, and then I can use my SC inferior and just, like, practice over and over again, get that muscle memory down, basically, to full-fledged mastery. It's pretty sick. You'd be surprised. It depends on what you mean by be the best, because if you can be the best and if you have some other purpose other than being the best, then you could actually perform better. So let's say example, like, let's say what if I played something like Beat Saber or some kind of rhythm game or something like that. If I was the best at it, I would love to just show everybody what you can really do in a game to push yourself to the absolute limit. It's kind of the reason why you're being the, or not why. Give yourself reasons if you are the best at something, which I've never really been, but I know I probably could, especially with Beat Saber when I played. I think I was probably top 100 at one point in terms of just raw skill, because I actually devoted myself to it. At some point, I was. Not really anymore. I know I can improve faster than... Like, I can take a break for 3 months and then get better than I was in, like, 2 days. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. Like, if you're trying to be the best at something, at least, figure out a plan after if you become the best. Coach people into it. That would be interesting. If you become the best at something, coach people. What's another one? So yeah, like MK Leo from Smash Ultimate. He's technically the best in the game, and he's literally going to just become he's still going to continue to do tourneys over and over again, and he still has good competition. But after, I know in an interview, he said he was literally going to, I think, become a coach and stuff like that. That's interesting. I forgot what else though. Oh, he's thinking about going into game developing with this Smash, with Nintendo for Smash. Like that type of stuff is where what you can get into if you become that good at something, or if you become that big of a inspiration in something. This is a little different, obviously. I don't know what's gonna happen after this. Like, I literally have actually no plan after I destroy all 3 dimensions. I really don't. I don't know what's gonna happen to this channel. I don't know what's gonna happen to me at that time. Like, what's really gonna happen? I know I'll be remembered for entire Minecraft's life, or probably not the entire Minecraft lifespan, but you never really know. To be honest, like the 100-year lifespan or whatever it's supposed to be for this game to continue on. Which is pretty sick. Like, I would rather display willpower than I will just playing normal Minecraft. There's a reason why I don't play many multiplayer games. Actually, I'm not sure the last time I played a multiplayer game. Besides, obviously, Smash is the only exception, but that's not really why I even play Smash in the first place anyway, so yeah. Like, I'm not sure the last time I actually played a full-fledged multiplayer game without people coming over to my house to play. That's obviously completely different. But if I like, hey, want to play some multiplayer? I'm not sure the last time I ever asked that question or anything, or accepted anybody else's multiplayer. Smash Online is the only time I think I really play with another person. Like, if I disappeared, yeah, I would probably be remembered by at least a couple people. Alright, see, this is fun. Especially after I finish this project. I don't know how long my legacy will continue in this game, but if it can somewhat be a thing for at least a couple years, that would be pretty sick. Which I doubt it's gonna even last more than a couple years. I just don't know how big this project's gonna get. If it becomes like absolutely gigantic, then I don't know. I mean, come on, I already have 26,000 subscribers and I'm not even 50%, I'm just over 50% done. Can you imagine once I get to the end of this project? That's gonna be interesting. I'm probably gonna only have like 24k or 23k by the time, if it keeps declining as it is, that is. Which is still a lot if you really think about it. 23,000 subscribers for one project. That's insane if you think about it. Seriously. Like, come on, Kilo is at 30,000, I think. I haven't checked in a while. He's at 30k, and he did a 11-year project that literally shaped, or not shaped, but literally made Minecraft history, and he completed that project. That's just... I'm at 26k with 50% done. Like, I can't even, like, fathom what's gonna happen by the end of this project. Like, I'm not expecting any big person, big YouTuber or something like that to come on the last stream, but you honestly really never know who's gonna join these streams at this point. Like, the fact that I even gained this many subscribers at less than 50% is just mind-boggling to me. It's been crazy. This may be, I don't know how big this stream, the last stream or the last couple streams are gonna be, but like the fact that Kilo went from, he literally went from, I think it was like 30 subscribers to 30k, or 30, no, he went from, what was it, like, how many subscribers did he have? He went from 30, I think 30 to around 20k by the time the end of the stream was done, or 15k. 15 to 20k, I think. In one stream. That one stream. Dude, I can't believe that video, the person who clipped the video of Kilo going to the Stump Islands has over 1.2 million views. That guy literally just got free views. He literally, all he did was clip the video and then just post it on YouTube. 1.2 million views, like what the heck? It has more than the stream does, which is hilarious to me. It's really funny when it's kind of sad at the same time, but when outside sources actually get more attention than the actual original posting. Which, to be fair, that's probably what's going to happen to me if I even have a big reaction. Because honestly, at this point, this project's so big, I'm probably not going to even have a big reaction, I'll be honest. Maybe. I may have one. It's gonna be more of a spur of the moment type of thing. I'm going to feel probably the intensity from the chat more than anything. Which is probably what happened to Kilo. I mean, to be fair, 15,000 or 14,000 people were watching you at once about to get to a goal. I would probably be I'd probably be shaking as well and like slightly hyperventilating. Oh yeah, Halloween is almost here. Should I use the wait? Do I have the Halloween texture pack? Is the Halloween texture pack even a thing on here anymore? I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it exists on PS4 anymore. I could be wrong, I'll have to go check again, but that'd be funny. Thank you, Deadly Goat. What's up, Brennan Queen? Yeah, it has been a while. It's been a while since I've tuned in. It's been 10 days. And I haven't made too much progress, I've been fairly busy actually. I'm probably only gonna do one layer, maybe. I don't know. It just depends on how long it takes. I could do 2 layers. I was contemplating even streaming anyway. Only because of my internet, but it's actually doing okay at the moment, for once. Child. I am mining out an entire classic size Minecraft world. 47 million blocks or something like that. I'm just over 50% done. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What's up, Ian? And it's probably going to take me another, I don't know how long it's going to take me, considering I've been kind of slacking the last, like, well, kind of slacking, sort of, the last couple of days or so, sort of. I try to get around a layer a day, but at the moment it's not really happening that much. Oh well. I'm really gonna have to move my stream time up a little bit. Seriously, I really need to move the stream time up. Move it to like 7 or something like that. What's up, Ash? What's up, Die Buddy? Bought a domain name. Pretty sick. I wonder how Kilo's site's going, actually. So I'm curious. I need to go check out his site. I don't know if he's actually made it or not. I'm pretty sure he has by this point. The fact that he hasn't streamed though is kind of weird. Maybe he's having trouble starting. Back up on YouTube. I have that problem sometimes, it's coming back. You know, I just thought about something. What would be a stronger display of willpower? Literally, willing my way to not do this project anymore, or willing my way to finish this project? If you really think about it, it's a weird like paradox of willpower. It's like I have the willpower to finish this project, but at the same time I have the willpower to leave this project at the exact same time. It's super weird if you really think about it. I don't know if it's a paradox. I was kind of just, I don't actually know what I'm talking about with the paradox thing. I'm gonna just completely ignore that I mentioned paradox, because I have no idea even if that's like paradox or not. I don't think it is though. I do remember you, Logan. I only remember people on the stream once they join. I'm not kidding either. I don't remember a single name once I leave this stream. No, I was kidding. I was just mentioning that. It's kind of a weird paradox. If you really think about it, like... That's the interesting part. Thinking about willpower. I think if I like addictions, I don't think I don't think I can ever get addicted to anything. Like truly addicted to it. I'm just saying that because I will unless I get like unhealthy. I mean, I know addictions in themselves are unhealthy, but I'm talking about mentally unhealthy. If I become mentally unhealthy, then I probably could get addicted to something, but if I'm mentally healthy and I get addicted to something, it would be very, what's up, NBO? What? Oh. Okay, I hate these stupid locks. Kinda weird. That's why I mentioned earlier, it's like, it's a little bit of self-discipline. Like, it's not really full-fledged willpower at this point. I think high school, like when I first started this project, the first like 6 million was definitely willpower. It was a good display of it, and it really showed what you can really do, pushing yourself to the absolute limit. Yeah, physical addiction, mental addiction, nah. I still don't know if I can get a physical addiction. I mean, yes, you kinda can, but like at the same time, here's the thing, through cognition, mental addiction and physical addiction kind of merge if you talk about cognition of types. In a way, if you really think about it. Because it's like, the physical addiction, in a way, yes, you can go into that weird, like, you can go into that mode, the, withdrawing mode. In a way. But at the same time, it's like, isn't that technically a mental addiction at the exact same time? Because if you have the willpower to go through that withdrawal stage, that would, yeah, that would mean that it's kind of a mental addiction. It's like attached. I will do face reveal after this project. after the overworld. I need to start specifying that. We'll do, or I hit 100k subscribers, which I really doubt I'm gonna hit 100k at the overworld. Like the mental addiction is kind of attached to physical addiction. Some people have a harder time to some degree to break out of physical addiction, if you really think about it, because willpower is the reason. It's kind of a mixture of willpower. Some people use willpower, some people use self-discipline. I think people need to stop thinking that somehow willpower is the only way to get out of things. Like that video, if anybody's ever seen this video, it's called Willpower is for Losers. Literally, they don't know what the difference between willpower and self-discipline actually is. Self-discipline is literally just enduring through hardships. Willpower is literally breaking through a barrier, surviving through a hardship. It's pushing yourself further versus self-discipline, which is enduring through whatever you're dealing with. It's a barrier breaker versus just fire versus stone, basically. You become a rock with self-discipline, you become fire with willpower. Like, I can debunk some of that stuff from that Willpower is for Losers video, like the cookie and turnip thing, whatever it is. It's like they walk into a room. One of their experiments is they walk into a room and they have a choice. They're given a choice by the other people. Do mind you, this is important when I mention this. To take a cookie or take a turnip. I forgot what the other rules were. There were some weird regulations. Okay, here's the thing. Self-discipline is being told what to do and listening to the other people and enduring through it. What the other person's saying. Like, it's having faith in a way. Yeah, it's not really willpower. That's not really, you're not using your willpower. You're using self-discipline to just endure to not eat a cookie, in a way. It's like that urge to, you know, that urge that of craving of eating something. That's SI. That's having the experience of eating something. That's why SI users love food. Absolutely love food. I'm not saying SE users can't like food, but like in general, SI users love experiencing foods in general. New foods, it could be anything. They'll experience everything at least once. Which is the complete opposite of what their other, it's kind of a virtue and vice of the SI users. It's experiencing everything, which isn't a bad thing actually. It can be a bad thing. And then there's self-discipline, which is like pushing through hardships. And then there's experiencing everything, becoming very impulsive through experiences. It's more like, it's not really liking food in general, it's like experiencing food in general. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just mainly an SI thing. Like, I don't actually care that much for what I experience in terms of food. That's why like 40% of the population, or most people are quite picky about what they eat. Because it's comfort. Food is comfort. The power of food is very powerful in a lot of cases. And for me, I literally do not care. I mean, considering I have SI demon, so yeah, I really won't care about my experiences whatsoever. That's the reason I don't can't even like conceptualize like a story from my experience. That's the reason I literally never talk about myself whatsoever and my experiences, because I almost have no concept of my own experiences. Alright, see Ash. What's another example? Oh, this is the dumbest example. This is the dumbest experiment I've ever seen with willpower versus self-discipline. Does anybody know that marshmallow? What's it called? Alright, see you, Nicholas. Does anybody know that marshmallow experiment? This is much worse than the turnip and, turnip and the chocolate chip cookie thing. This is so much worse. There's so much wrong with it, I'll be honest. I can explain a lot of what's wrong with that experiment. So, that marshmallow experiment is pretty much where children are putting a marshmallow in front of them, and the longer they wait, the more marshmallows they get. Yeah, pretty much. Pie guy. Alright, so there's a couple things wrong. They say, okay, that's what they say, the experts, the people who study this. Okay. They say that the people who wait, the children who wait the longest, remember endurance? Who wait the longest, you probably already see where I'm getting at already. Are more successful in life and have higher SAT scores. Yeah, there's a couple things wrong with that. Okay, first thing that's kind of retarded. Why are you judging somebody off of SAT scores? Why are you judging children off of SAT scores? Second thing is, if they're like, depends on their age and their cognitive development too, because think about it, an 8-year-old versus like a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old, they're cognitively developed quite differently than each other because of how the cognitive functions work, and this doesn't even account for types. And don't forget, self-discipline is also enduring something. That's not willpower. They're not, the children aren't willing them way, they're not willing their way towards new, alright, see ya, Ian. They're not using willpower to, they're not using willpower to, get more marshmallows. They're just, like, focusing and just, how in what world is that? That is not willpower, that is self-discipline. You're using self-discipline of your own, it's like, I'm gonna tell you what to do, and you have to wait. You have to endure to get more marshmallows. That's not willpower. I know exactly what willpower is. Like, even when I was like 10, you could say I could have all the willpower in the world, but I could eat a marshmallow. Because guess what? NI users or willpower users are actually pretty impulsive, especially children. I was pretty impulsive. And you're telling me that somehow children with higher willpower, even though types like mine have literally the highest willpower, and somehow can wait the longest? Yeah, are you serious? And here's the other thing, certain types like ESTJs with high self-discipline, that will train well. The training thing is another thing. Nurture is another part of the component as well. You can't really determine somebody's willpower. It's not even willpower at that point. Somebody's self-discipline by just their nature. Why are you just judging them by their nature and just not using? You're not even considering in them. You're not even considering the nurture aspect of the parenting aspect by that age. What's up, Jason? Like, what are you doing? Like, that literally makes no sense. And the funny thing is the SAT scores and stuff like that. ESTJs, SI users, especially TESI users, usually score higher on SAT scores. They're usually better at tests anyway, so it's like, what do you... What? It's like, so you're basically automatically saying, even though the US is very biased towards TESI users in general, they're automatically more successful in life, and why are you tracking them anyway? Kind of creepy. It's like, that's literally a waste of an experiment. Why are you wasting your time with that experiment? It makes no sense. It's fundamentally flawed. I can tell you what willpower is. Willpower is literally just passion to do something. That's literally all willpower is. If you don't want to do it, you won't put your willpower towards it. It's like fire. You can only have so much. Fire can only spread so far. Or you can only conjure up so much fire from inside of you, so much passion from inside of you, before it dissipates. Self-discipline's a little different, but at the same time, willpower can kind of be out self-discipline in a way. I think it depends on the person though, in a way. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like you're literally wasting your time with that experiment. What the heck are you doing? It's like that video's a wash. The part about willpower being limited, that's kinda true, but at the same time, it's like a rechargeable battery. It can come back. As long as nothing actually gets in the way, like stress, especially for me, willpower will just go away. Like that. Stress is literally like wind to a candle. Okay, if the kid's passionate about marshmallows, that's completely different. If he's passionate about marshmallows, then maybe he can wait it out. Or they can wait it out. Willpower is also focus, because I mean, come on, if you're not passionate about something, why wouldn't you focus on it? They all interconnect. Like all of these functions, all their functions, the functions of the functions interconnect. Oh weird. You're good, JXB. You kinda can manipulate your body. I mean, to be fair, I'll be honest here, anybody here on stream, I don't recommend many people here use willpower, because I would have to say only a few types can actually utilize willpower effectively. Some types benefit more from, especially on the stream. Some types get 40% of the population can use willpower. No, not 40. 55, I think. 55 and no. 40. Yeah, it's 55 plus 45% of the population uses willpower, 55 doesn't. Pretty sure on that one. Or something like that. Wait, no, 55 does. 45 doesn't use willpower. I mean, 55 doesn't use willpower, 45 does. Or something weird like that. Going based off the cognitive functions. I'm not saying a lot of people who here should use willpower. It's one of the reasons why, willpower is, it's kind of a weird it's not a curse, it's like a double bind, not a double bind, I don't know what to call it. So there's like, there's some benefits to having willpower, and there's some benefits to having self-discipline. The self-discipline thing, you don't have as much for if you really think about it. Technically, I technically have the most free will out of every type either, except for INT. Actually, technically, I have the most free will. Really think about it. Even compared to INTJs, which also have as much willpower, their only problem is they're controlled more. They make decisions based on how they feel. So, they technically have a little bit less, but if you think about the word free willpower, it's part of willpower. What's up? My name is Dom. But it comes at a price. Like, seriously, it comes at a price. This willpower comes at a price. So, in terms of growth, having this much willpower, it's a kind of a weird double-edged sword, because it's like, it's great to be able to grow as fast as I can. The problem is, I can go back. I can lose that willpower just as easily as I can gain it. SI users, they can't grow as fast, but they're more steady than NI or willpower. Self-discipline is more steady, or steadier. I don't know how to say it. Or is steadier than willpower. It just doesn't grow as fast, and getting out of habits is more difficult, I would have to say, even though I know CS Joseph disagrees with me on that one, but honestly, it really does. I don't know why. I don't know why he says that it doesn't. I'm pretty sure it does, though. Because come on, it's literally, willpower is also active choice. So if, like, literally somebody can just tell you, hey, you're doing this, it's bad, boom, you're out of it. That's NI Hero, basically. It's like, I know I'm doing something bad, I can stop. It's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I don't know how long it's been since you've been here, JXFin. I haven't cleared too much in a month. Yeah, I don't recommend many people here utilize willpower. I mean, you'd have to look at what your type is to realize if you should utilize willpower. Yeah, some people can really just kind of switch. I can switch very quickly. To be fair, combine perfectionism with self-improvement, you got yourself like an you got yourself pretty much a person that can really never be, as long as I'm healthy. It's all about being healthy mentally, but as long as I'm healthy, I can technically never be in bad habits unless I'm pretty much depressed. But if I'm very depressed, yeah, it's gonna be very easy to get into habits. I've been doing a bit off stream, don't worry. You can check the streams, last stream. I have a couple layers done. I haven't been doing too much the last like week or so, but I'm gonna try to get back onto that. Like, I can just figure out a problem, sniper rifle it with my NI hero, and just like solve it. Like nutrition, like health in the future. I know you probably should be starting now, but at the moment I need to focus on learning skills. That's one thing I really need to do. I need to learn skills, at least programming, because that's gonna be vital. Maybe not vital, but I think it'd be very good for me to do. And then once I learn that, I'm probably gonna go into health later on once I move out. Optimize nutrition and health. Here's the other thing, willpower. This is kind of the reason why NI users have the most choice. It's because we're not really. It's because it's. Ooh, yeah. There's a pretty good chance of schools shutting down. I don't know. It's been pretty steady. The virus has been. Is the other thing. I think the reason, and I users always have a choice in the matter, is because NI users, or willpower users, I guess, that wield willpower, they don't have enough mental capacity. Sub is off. They don't have enough mental we don't have enough mental capacity to care too much about our own comfort. Consciously care about our own comfort, but other people's comfort. If that makes sense. Which comfort means, comfort is something that you're attached to make yourself comfortable. I mean, it's really dependent. You're very influenced by who you're around. So you gotta get some SE users to like break you, not figuratively obviously, break your habits. Maybe you mentally, if you're that unhealthy, and then just build you back up. I'm not saying all SI users are like this, but if you do get into that bad rut, highly recommend go to like an SE user or an ESTP or an NFJ for self-improvement, since we're all about self-improvement. Or at least try to be self-improvement, as long as we can get out of our fears. You know, this would be the one time I would probably go to college, because apparently a lot of universities and stuff like that are doing you know what, I'm just gonna mention this real fast. What they're doing right now would actually solve a lot of people's problems in terms of learning. I'll tell you why. So there's a lecture version where like it's a video and they send it to you, versus like live lectures. Now I forgot what the terms are, but you're gonna have to roll with that one. Basically, live lectures versus like video lectures. Do you know how many problems would be solved if you had live lectures versus and you can get those TI users to actually learn something better, or at least have TI users learn it better, because we actually have to process everything. It can't just we can't speed learn like TE users, because they're very biased towards TE users in that way. We can't just like take the information, regurgitate it out. We have to process every bit of it, which is really frustrating for trying to learn something. God, that would solve so many problems though if they had I think it's inconclusive or exclusive, whatever it is. You get the idea though. Asynchronous, because it's, you're synced with the teacher. Okay, that makes more sense. Asynchronous. I think it's asynchronous and asynchronous classes, I'm too sure. Alright, see you, Wes. I cannot learn in that setting. Like, I can't learn once. I have to somewhat process it myself. I can't really learn that stuff that quickly. I learn it well and actually improve itself very quickly, even though that's kind of contradicting if you think about it. that is, if I have time to process what I'm learning, I can learn it pretty quickly. I think SI users actually benefit a lot from synchronous classes as well, because they can learn from the experiences of the classes themselves, and then use TI to process what they learned through the classes. Too bad I have only one function that actually somewhat is well, which is TI. I'm basically just a processor. I process through what I want, or my own future, and to what, and I also process through to what I know, or like logic, what logically makes sense. Like, I know my sister has SITI, and she does very well when I mean, she does take it pretty seriously, so I guess that's one thing. But she does have SINTI, so what's up, Dark Ernagon? The only way I can really learn something is if I take notes and then just rewrite the notes like a billion times over. I'll be honest here, I think I'd rather have a full-length class than I would a synchronized class. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the attention thing, because I have a horrible attention span. Like, really bad attention span. That's the reason I forget what I say most of the time, because I'm thinking about so many things that I just forget 20 seconds later. It's also one of the reasons why I hate getting interrupted. I mean, I've gotten used to it at this point, especially being around some extroverts. I'm not saying all extroverts interrupt or all introverts interrupt, but I'm just saying generally, especially a group of people. I will pretty much forget what I say right after somebody says like 2 sentences. Like, entirely. It doesn't matter what it is either. Unless I can consciously remember the information itself, unless it's an idea, like, it can't be an idea. An idea I will forget almost immediately. I'd have to write it down as soon as I think of it, if I wanted to remember it. But yeah. I noticed that though, because of SI Demon. I noticed a lot of subtypes can actually really like remember what they're talking about, like 10 minutes. Like, how do you do that? How do you keep that thought in your head for? And you would think looping with NI and TI would be like looping with NI TI, looping constantly, just doing that. You would think it would help with attention span. It doesn't really at all, because I'm so focused on what other people are doing. It just kind of just deletes the idea out of my head. It takes me a good couple minutes to regurgitate it back into my mind. I don't know if it's weird. You know the weird thing? What even is weird? If you think about it, humanity doesn't even know what the concept of normal or weird is. Like, if we don't know what the concept of normal is, how do we know what the concept of weird is? Technically, in that case, everything is weird. I'm not the one that came up with that. I know CS Joseph actually mentioned that on stream, and it really intrigued me, because he mentioned that humanity actually doesn't know what the word normal means. Or what normal is. I was thinking, what is weird then? What is weird? What is normal? gotta have opposites of each other. If you ask what is this, it has to be that you have to think about the opposite of that as well. Because of counterbalance, just like our minds are counterbalancing each other constantly. It's really about balance in a lot of ways. For some reason, the number 4 is like the magic number for everything, and not 42. Honestly, 4 should be the meaning of life, not 42. That joke about the number 42 being the meaning of life, it should be 4. Because 4 is just stupidly... It's like in everything. Yeah, it's kind of a weird paradox. Like the word common, the word common knowledge, or no, common sense is technically common ignorance, if you really think about it. I love that quote. C.S. Joseph mentioned. He wasn't the one who said it though. It was one of his mentors, I think. That mentioned that. That's an intriguing quote. Is common sense is common ignorance. That's pretty cool though, because it's like, it makes sense though. It's pretty ignorant to think that everybody should know that knowledge, even though everybody doesn't. That's what they mean. Or that word ignorance is bliss, even though it really isn't, because it's creating a lot of problems in the world, like not understanding each other and people being ignorant to this science, psychological science. Okay, this is weird. It's really funny though. When some people think of me, like, I know it's kind of funny that like a lot of types, like mine, for example, literally are seen as like, I'm not even really gonna say weak, just actually kind of weak. I mean, but it's like, we're technically supposed to become the strongest, like the weakest become the strongest, and the strongest defer their wisdom onto the weakest. Is that weird? Take like an ESTJ, the classic manager, the classic overseer and stuff like that. They have a subconscious that is literally just supposed to give like life advice. And then you got the opposite, which is that life advice giver, which is like an INFP, which is the philosopher. They're literally supposed to like lead in not even philosophy, bring about new ideas for humanity to bring forward. Yeah, it's really weird. Or speak their opinion based off of collective knowledge they have over reading books and spilling their philosophy gathered by multiple resources to bring about a new world amongst humanity. That's a very, very broad way to say it, I guess, but it's weird. What's up, Kim? It's super weird if you think about it like that. Or take... What's up, Pie Man? I guess another type would be like... I mean, I'm not gonna do my type. I've already mentioned it a couple times. ISFPs or something like that. You know, that artist. They actually... Even though they're probably one of the most introverted introverts, they actually do better. They find happiness within leadership, which is crazy to think about. Like a lot of these types that have always been seen as like the most introverted are actually becoming some of the strongest people on Earth. That includes power or just raw strength in general. To be fair, I'm one of the most it's weird though. People, if I told people I'm one of the most extroverted introverted types, they would like they would not think I would be at all. I mean, there's a few reasons why I'm not as extroverted as I probably should be as my type, is because of a couple things. But if I extrovert, I do extrovert pretty well. So what am I doing? I forgot. I thought I was going to get pickaxes for some reason. Yours is ISFJ. Ash. Which means you have a ENTP. You could be amazing at like designing or engineering things, like creating new ideas. You could become like this crazy creationist. Sorry, not creationist. I know that's kind of religious. I didn't mean it like that. This crazy designer of new ideas, and so as long as you get over your fear of fearing things, or the fear of abandoning your faith and putting it into new ideas, I guess is a good way to say it. Also be pretty good at like construction, which is interesting. Construction, art, performing even. You could practically do anything in a role. If you were put in a role, you could practically do anything. You're actually very similar to me in a way. It's just the way we do things differently in a way. Yours is more like this for the sake of other like the honor of your role in a company. Mine is more like for the sake of growing other people in the company, or you get the idea though, just in a work setting. You basically build the foundation. I bring forth the foundation. Complete opposites in terms of that way. You can literally endure anything. You have the most faith out of all the time. Maybe not. Actually, no. Naturally, you'd have more than the most faith. Technically, SI inferior would endure anything, aspirational wise. But, generally speaking, you can basically endure anything. Which is pretty sick. You could do programming. I forgot to mention that. You can also do programming. You could do pretty much it that I can think of. Yeah, you could practically do anything, at least in terms of, as long as it's not rational thinking, nothing rational like finances. That's pretty much it, mainly financial stuff. Besides that, yeah, you can pretty much do anything. As long as you have the reason to do it, you can pretty much do it. You can also learn pretty much, I'm not saying you can learn any skill. You can't master it, I would have to say. At least I don't least not to the point where I can do it. But you can learn more skills than I can, definitely. Since you have such a large, long-term memory span. Also means you have the highest attention span. That's pretty much it. At least in terms of your strengths. What the heck? How does Pythagorean theorem help you in PvP? Oh yeah, you're basically the jack of all trades, master of none. I'm the... technically the jack of all trades, master of one thing. Master of some. Or I'm the jack of no trades, master of few, I guess is a good way to say it. Which isn't a bad thing. It's just different roles. Yeah, you're pretty much jack of all trades. To be fair, we kind of undermine ourselves a lot with FI credit. We undervalue ourselves, so... Which is funny, because we can technically become the most valuable, even though we undervalue ourselves. It's very weird with Dunning-Kruger effect. Alright, see ya, Pie Man. I mean, I could technically learn anything I wanted to, it just... It would be very... I would be hindering myself a lot if I tried that. Because I have to scatter my willpower, my focus. To be fair, you're not really the most competitive type. You're not the least competitive type, but you're not the most competitive. My type is pretty much the most competitive anyway, so... Besides INTJs. Which, if anybody wants to know an INTJ, which has very, very similar views as me, it's Kilo. He's an INTJ. I'm an INFJ. It's kind of weird. We see eye to eye in a way. In a lot of ways. But some ways differently. I think his is more like, I want to master every skill. Which is kind of ridiculous because he really can't, because here's the thing about mastering these skills, at least in terms of ours. You can take, here's the thing, yours is about getting as many skills necessary to do your job. Mine is more like, my job has to be my skill. It's literally crafting. It's like the craft. It's the craft more than the actual doing the job itself. I mean, obviously, yes, it is quite a bit about work ethic, about helping other people. It's about crafting a way to help other people. Kilo's is more like, I'm going to engineer his purpose, technically, as an INTJ, is to engineer or master the skills necessary, which shouldn't be too many. Don't cut yourself too short in certain skills. Master a skill to do some... I don't know how to explain it. I guess you could say just master a skill enough to create the ultimate system to help other people and to gain treasure to share to other people. Weird. It's like, I'm going to master the skills. Okay, that's be interesting. Send it on the general. I may check it out. I haven't been too active on Discord at all, actually. I haven't touched Discord in weeks. So, pretty much, yeah. Mine is more like I have to basically gain the skills to strengthen other people. Literally use the skills, master skill to the point where I literally strengthen other people. Yours is more like I have to learn the skills to help the organizations, the bottom of the foundation of the organizations. You're pretty much the what is it called? I mean, you're technically the foundation, just like all the behind the scenes types are. You're the... It's not bad though, because obviously the foundation has a lot of responsibility on it. I should give my friend a little pep talk, because I know he doesn't... I don't know what he's actually doing right now, but he's kind of devaluing himself a lot. Like his FI critic, he's literally consuming him from the inside out, and I want to try to help him in that. Because I have the same issue. I've had the same issue for a while. To be fair, we'll always devalue ourselves no matter what. The best way to not devalue ourselves is to literally help other people. I'm not kidding either. That's why it's perfect harmony. Whatever it's also kind of weird though, because it's like, it's kind of hypocritical. That's also where your hypocrisy comes from, is your critic. So like, we could criticize people about... What's up, Alex? So like, me and you would criticize people about morality, having morals, about being a good person, even though... Wait, no. No, it's projecting our own morals onto other people, even though they're super high, and it's like alienating other people, if that makes sense. It's like you can't hold your own standards, even though you're putting other people to your own standards. It's like, what? Even though I don't really do that personally, at least not that I'm aware of. I actually try to learn morals from other people. I don't try to learn my own morals. I kind of just go with the flow when it comes to morals. I know it's kind of ridiculous, but that's what I'm doing. Which, I need to get some FI users in my life. I only have like 2. Actually, I only have 1, I think, in my life. Should definitely get some FI users. They can definitely hit some nice morals. Pretty much find people that like care a lot about status or their reputation. That's an FI user, because it's FITE. If you know somebody who cares a lot about their status and or credibility, stuff like that, credentials. Even though we have TE Trickster. So, we can technically believe anything, but besides that point, I don't know what NI Demon is. I wonder what that looks like. It's kind of funny though, we're complete opposites. I have like no self-discipline. You have all the self-discipline. I have all the willpower. You have no willpower. It's so weird. It's so weird being complete opposites in that sense. was actually slightly scared there. I saw the yellow glow from the orange glow. From the lava. Yeah. You know what the weird thing is? I always thought it was. There's a lot of things I thought I was normal. Like, I thought a lot of things were normal. No. Definitely not. Totally not for me. Let's just say that. Like, I thought, oh, a lot of other people have desire to do things. No, very few people actually desire things. At least in terms of wanting, not counting experiences, just wanting, desiring things versus experiencing things. Wanting to experience versus wanting to do things. I know it sounds weird. You would think that kind of sounds very similar, but it's not. Or the fact that I thought everybody had, I thought everybody benefited a lot from I mean, they kind of do, but I did not know I benefited the most from practice. That's so weird to think about. Just put this in here. You know, I thought I was perfectly normal. I thought I was a normal person. No, I am not. Not even close. I'm totally accepting that. It's just, what's up, Momo? Okay, I've gotten, I think it's 8,700 diamonds or 8,600 diamonds at the moment. Definitely not. I'm actually far from normal. Or from the average person. Which I'm totally accepting that. I kind of like it, in a way. It's kind of weird. Psychological alienation. It's a weird thing, but it kind of happens occasionally. Because that's the thing, apparently. I feel like I just... Yeah, not feel. I think that... I'm pretty sure I'm just on a different level in terms of stuff like that. Think of stuff so differently. I mean, to be fair, I'm like not even 0.5 of the population in terms of my type. So yeah, I guess that makes perfect sense. Okay, maybe not normal, but like in terms of the general population, in terms of seeing things a different way. In that case, I don't mean really normal. I don't actually mean normal. Oh, why am I going this direction? Normal. I know I said normal was subjective earlier. I'm just going off the consensus of human civilization, or at least what we know of. We'll eventually get accurate results, so don't worry. I want to know how accurate 40%, 30%, 15, and 15 is, or 40%, 30%, and 15% for 30% for intuitives, 40% for sensors, 70% for sensors. Like, I literally can't see many people from eye to eye, because even my golden pair is only like 3% of the population, which that's the only type I can really see eye to eye. INTJ is kinda. I think kind of INTPs, at least from a logical standpoint, literally. I can kinda see it. I have some connection. Even my own subconscious type, it's hard. It's still kinda hard to see. I love learning from you. You gotta learn from your subconscious, though. It's so nice. You literally are shown your own fear in front of you. Like, you know how nice that is. It may be kind of weird. Take a similar age though to you, or at least a younger. Learn from a younger type from your subconscious, a little bit at least. Like I have an ESTP friend that I learned from quite consistently, actually. From getting my fear away from performing badly. Which is pretty great, because I can actually outperform him in some ways because of that lack of performance. Or lacking of performance anxiety for once. And getting away from that stupid performance anxiety for once. And knowing that I could technically be the best at something if I just put in the work. Where are my arrows? What a minute, what? Did I throw away my arrows earlier? Okay, I guess I'll do it this way. You know how ironic it is? Oh shoot. No, this way. This way. Okay, thank you. Do you know how ironic it is when we hate our own type that's inside of our mind? You thought about that? The type you actually despise the most, technically, is, it's not your super ego, but it's actually your subconscious. Well, sort of. Okay, maybe not despise, as long as you're, like, if you're of similar age, like me and a friend, and aren't, to be fair, I know, CS Joseph has a ESTP mentor and an INFJ mentor. They literally hate each other so much, they can't even be in the same state as each other. Think about that for a second. Shoot, messed up. Think about that for a second. They literally almost get into fist fights every single time they meet. Just to tell you how bad you can hate your actual subconscious. Can get really bad. But you can learn the most from yourself. Maybe not the most. You can develop pretty quickly if you're subconscious. You really learn for the most from your ego, but that's weird. Because you're basically looking yourself in the mirror. Which is creepy. It's like you can literally become what you can become what you despise. It's so ironic. Sort of. Or you kind of become what you despise. So like INFJ being like, or an ESTP being super cocky and like thinking they're all this. Ironically, I could become that even if I criticize a person for doing it. It's so weird. I have not done that. I mean, there's a guy who literally I think there's one time I cannot stand. I think I can't stand ISTP. He's actually been an ISTP friend. But if it's an arrogant ISTP, like their TI hero, I think I can't shoot at him. Oh my god, I don't know if I can stand a good like 10 minutes with them. I mean, it's good to learn from them. Criticizing, obviously, they're literally the most arrogant of all time. Their responsibility with performance, which performance means anything. It could mean like, if you want something done right, do it yourself. That's literally ISTP land. That's where it came from. Like, I was literally watering plants, and one of my managers literally got off his forklift and was showing me how to water plants. My god, was I frustrated, because he literally just took the water hose out of my hand. Just straight up took it out. You know how triggering that is for SE Inferior. Like, oh my god, dude. When it comes to like frustration, it's one of the most times I've been like, probably one of the most frustrating times I've had. Not the most guilty. That's an interesting time. I know that's really the only time I know, though, at least in terms of frustration. There are very few times I actually remember like very painful memories. It was so stupid. It's like they're being watered anyway. Why does it matter? What are you doing, dude? You're wasting your time. It's not gonna change anything. I resorted back to my old watering method anyway because this guy, he left to get out of state anyway. Like, that's the pinnacle of arrogant ISTP, which I don't want to deal with anymore. Hopefully I don't deal with that anymore. Kind of one of the reasons why I don't want to go into trades. Because of dealing with some STPs. As long as I mean, if I was mentored into a trade, that would be so much better. Or at least learning by myself, somehow. I just don't like the structure of apprenticeships. It doesn't really benefit me that much, even though I say that literally it's called a trade skill and I can master any skill, so I could technically do a construction trade if I absolutely had to. I think it's gonna be one of my last resorts if nothing, if somehow programming fails, which I'm pretty sure it won't, but never really know. Or sales. There aren't really that many people I can really say that I like can't stand. Like, I've even talked straight up to like the people that I hated, or not really hated, but that annoyed me a lot. Because hate is pretty strong. I think people use hate too much, in my opinion. Unless it's like they do something so bad to the point where it's like actually like harming you. That's a different story. Then you could probably start hating them. Welding's pretty interesting. I think welding would be probably one of the few trades I could do. I could probably do electrician. It would make sense for me to be an electrician, but at the same time, I'm not too sure yet. I could go back to that route. I'd have to tell him straight up, hey, I don't benefit that much from experience, but can you just let me practice with these tools? Because I can get really good with tools, actually, after a while. Like, better than probably most people. I've never seen what INJ could do with tools, but I'm pretty sure they could do amazing stuff. Like, better than any ISTP or any ESTP that has lived. I don't think a ISTP can actually beat an INJ if they devoted themselves to some... I mean, to be fair, Jesus did carpentry, so... If that doesn't say anything about INJs going to trades, then I don't know what does. I wonder what happened if an ISTP went up to Jesus and took away his ability to perform. My God, that would be like suicide. I think that, I don't know, it's just a funny theoretical example I was thinking of. I don't know, it's just a funny thought experiment. To be fair, he was literally the greatest INFJ that ever lived, and probably will ever live, actually. It's INFJ. I have the same type as Jesus. Which when I heard that, I was like, why did I hear that? That makes me terrified, actually. Knowing that I had the same cognition as Jesus. That's quite terrifying. The responsibility is like, explode. He had the integrity to like literally shake the earth. Jesus wasn't exactly a deity. Well, I can't really say anything. I actually don't know that much about Jesus. I just know his type and what he kind of the things he did. He brought logos into the world. He literally brought truth in the world. Imagine that. An INFJ bringing truth into the world. Like, that's how insane his ESTP subconscious was. He literally just broke the barrier of everything. Like, his integrity is so strong, apparently he didn't lie to anyone, so that's kind of insane. I mean, to be fair, I haven't really lied too much. I mean, I've lied a couple, obviously. Everybody at least one time in their life has lied. But yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? TI child literally came to divide. Tell the truth and nothing more. If you want to know, like, a video that kind of explains this is how Jesus is an INFJ, look up cognitive transitions of INFJs. He talks about Jesus a little, like 30 minutes in or 37 minutes in or something like that. I forgot how many minutes it was. Do like 35. He talks about it. Like, that's kind of terrifying to think. I'll be honest. I guess that could somewhat explain why I love this weird thing about like divinity and weird. It's almost philosophical, but it's like, yeah, divine. I love the divine. I love the going beyond extreme, like going into divine. What's it called? Concepts and angelic. Stuff like that, you know, like beyond the realm of humanity, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. To be fair, INFJs are very spiritual anyway, so I guess that's the thing. To be fair, I think I know why we're so rare. It's because, to be fair, the world really doesn't need that many INFJs. And I'm not saying that just to be like almost nihilistic like, but I'm just saying in general, like, why would you need a bunch of people who are like strengthening people? You need a bunch of people to be strengthened, not to strengthen other people. Or you need people to yeah, you just don't need that many people to move society forward. In a way. I don't know still how I'm gonna move society forward. Like, there's a point in amassing your skill, but there's a way. I mean, it doesn't have to be something massive. I can kinda just expose some people that can listen and then just strengthen them, and then they strengthen other people, and then those people strengthen other people, and then those people strengthen other people, and then your type is actually the most common, Ash. It's kind of funny. You actually have the most common type, and I have the rarest. It's weird. One letter makes that big of a difference. It's weird. Imagine INFJ and ISFJ, just one letter off being the rarest and the most common. That we know of, your type is the most common. It's like 9% of the population or something like that. Just one type being 9%. That means 1 in 10 people are almost 1 in 10 people are ISFJs, which is crazy. I think it's 9%. It's more common in females than it is in males, because remember, there's gender. as well. So like take ENFPs or sorry, like STPs are more common in males, and STP women, STJ men are more common than STJ males. SFJ women are more common than SFJ men. NFJ, weirdly enough, even though they're technically more masculine, NFJ women are more common than NFJ men. What is it? NTJs are more common in men than women. Actually, NTJ women are very rare. Oh, probably almost as rare as NFJ men, actually. It's kind of crazy, I think. It really does. I've noticed it does kind of impact some people. Like, some people even started playing Minecraft because of this channel, which is insane to think about. I was like, my god. Wait till after I'm done. I wonder what's gonna happen to some people, or not happen to some people, but I wonder what impact this is gonna give. Like, this may not impact as much as to be fair, I'm always gonna undervalue what things impact anyway of what I do, because I undervalue everything I do. So I guess there's that. I just don't know how to undervalue. I guess in a way, this science has kind of helped me realize my value. So I guess it kind of helps. I'm still gonna technically undervalue myself. Or feel worthless, I guess, is another way to put it. It's gonna take a long journey to know when I'm not gonna feel worthless. Oh no, I'm gonna keep that there, because I'm gonna have to mine that. I'm gonna have to mine this wall anyway. I think out of all the types I would want to be, I know like I do like being an INFJ to a degree. If people knew about the FI critic thing, they wouldn't want to be, even though they somehow MBTI thinks we're like special snowflakes. It's more of an INFP thing though, because they have FI hero and they want to feel special constantly, so I guess there's that. Types when it comes to feeling worthless. The Dunning-Kruger effect hits us really hard in a lot of areas, actually. Maybe not a lot of areas, but at least a couple impactful areas, important areas in our life. Like, I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen to this project. This is gonna be crazy. It's been quite the journey. I'm just gonna mention, I love the journey. At the same time, I love knowing that I can actually edit videos okay as well. It's crazy. You know what really sucks about your type though? That a lot of people don't give your type a chance because you don't have the skills already readily available, even though you could learn them. It's kind of sucks for your type in that case. I technically have the skills within, it's just I have to develop them, if that makes sense. It's weird. You have to gain the skills, which technically means you're flexible. You're more flexible than me in terms of gaining skills, which that would make sense though, because you can gain more skills than me anyway. So. Yeah, you can pretty much gain more skills, but in terms of like natural skills, I think the best thing you have, you know, the cool thing about you not having technically any natural skills, you can gain any skill if you really think about it. It's like you have all this natural skill in the world. I can't really gain many skills, but I can master the skills within. It's weird. I'm technically the most flexible but inflexible person. It's so contradictory, but it makes a lot of weird amounts of sense, which makes no sense at the exact same time. I know that sounded really confusing, but yeah. It's really frustrating. It's kind of cool how our types are kind of similar in some ways, but it's so different in a lot of ways. Yeah, your type, you're definitely not worthless either because of you being able to gain any skill. I just have to develop skills. That's the thing. Which is what I'm kind of doing with programming. I could technically do with IT as well. IT is another thing I could probably do. I'm pretty familiar with IT. I just don't know how to practice IT. I really don't know. It'd be really hard for me to like practice IT. It's weird though, because we're like worthful in different ways, if that makes sense. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I just have to have the patience to trust the process. When it comes to at least this channel, I have some worth, even if everything else fails. You know what the crazy part is? I actually have a plan if I ever go homeless to still do this project. I'm not kidding either when I tell you that. If I do that, I'm still gonna do this project. I have a plan. It's a crazy plan, but it's a plan. I literally have a plan. If somehow everything else fails, I'm still gonna do this project. I'm not kidding when I say that either. That's a good thing about having any nemesis. I can kind of like plan for bad things to happen. I can like kind of make multiple trajectories in my mind about the future. It's kind of crazy. That is if everything fails. Like if I'm like, oh yeah, I'm done, I'm just gone, I'm just gonna leave. No, I'm just saying if I did. I'm not saying I would be. I'm just saying if somehow like everything failed. I don't know how I could. If this is like last case scenario. Okay, here's my plan. I'm basically gonna be living in my car, and I'm going to buy since I would still have money by that time, some money. I have reserves. What's up, George? Okay, so I still have some money, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to buy a handler's permit? Probably. Or some kind of permit to work. If it's the last case scenario. Or if I don't really care about getting a job at that very moment, I have a second plan, and my plan is to buy a data plan. This is gonna sound weird. This is like the most... This is really weird, but I'm gonna literally buy a data plan that has unlimited data with a hotspot, and I'm going to buy a what's up, AS7? Some form of like power. Actually, no, I don't know how I'm gonna get power. Actually, no, I kind of have an idea. There has to be a way to get power from. Wait, no, I have an idea. I know there's a way to get a AC adapter. I'm gonna have to buy myself a laptop. And get some form of AC, get a converter. To use an AC power unit, to use the unit. I forgot what it's called. Those power plugs, just the regular plug strips. And then after that, I'm going to, that's the main thing. I'm just trying to get power. That's the main thing, is just getting power. Internet isn't going to be that big of a problem because of data. That is if I have like a little job. If I can get like a food handler's permit or some form of permit, that would be nice to buy. You know what I wish I was told when I was like 18? Sorry, 17 or something like that. I wish I was told, hey, you don't have to figure out what you want yet. You just gotta figure out what you need. Keep that in the back of your mind if you ever have to make some life decision. That's what I wish I was told. Solar panels, that could work. I don't know how I could do that with a car. Could you install solar panels on your car? That'd be interesting. It depends on how much power you need, though. They may not be too expensive if you get some small. That's really about it, though. I'm not too sure where I would go, at least in terms of like necessities. Not counting food, talking like health, general health stuff. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. There is a converter my friend has. It's really loud, but it converts power. It's an AC power adapter that converts that you can use on a laptop. That's probably what I would use because I don't need anything. I just need a laptop and a 2 power plugs, and that's it, really. They shouldn't be that expensive. They aren't that expensive. It's pretty loud, but it's a Mazda 6. It's a pretty nice car. It lasts a while. It's gonna last a while. I just need a laptop, 2 power plugs, that converter, and some internet. That's really all I need. And I could just use the laptop as a screen for what about like health? Well, food, shelter, water, and sleep. What about health, like hygiene? That's gonna be the biggest problem if I did something like this. Biggest problem by far. Even though, to be fair, hygiene wouldn't matter that much, at least at the time. I know that sounds weird, but at that time it really wouldn't matter that much. Especially if you have extra clothes. Clothes would be kind of a problem as well. I know, like, I wouldn't go pure. I mean, if this was like the freaking, I don't know, if standards of health were a little bit less, then you could probably go without hygiene. Yeah, health was next year, that makes sense. Also, I forgot to mention, anybody, there's Discord in the description, there's Patreon if you want your name in the world. It's like 25 bucks if you want your name in the world. It's a one-time payment too, if you want to just pay once and leave. Or you can stay and support, I don't know, either one. Or you can just put your name on a sign. It's from $10, $1 to $10. One-time payment as well. Okay, yeah, local fitness. That would make sense. Actually, yeah, local fitness. I better move to Austin then. Because where I'm at, it's not exactly in the best. It's not the best area for fitness. Okay, brushing teeth wouldn't be that bad, literally. You just need some toothpaste, a little bit of water. Really, brushing your teeth isn't going to be that big of a deal. You literally just need bottled water, toothpaste, and a toothbrush. That's it. That would basically be nothing. That's really about it. Showers would be the hardest one to do. Actually, yeah, it would be very difficult to do showers. You know, showers actually wouldn't be as bad as I think it is, because you could literally just get gallon water. I don't know how expensive gallon water is. It shouldn't be that expensive though. Alright, see ya, Ash. You know, you could probably resourcefully use... Wait a minute, why don't you just get a sponge? Wait a minute, you could just get a sponge. Just get a sponge and a towel and some dish... No, sorry, I almost dish soap. Get some shampoo. That's all you need, don't you? Obviously the shower thing's a thing, but... rainwater storage. Yeah, that would make sense. I could leave some rainwater. Leave some plastic bottles if it's about to rain or something like that. Doesn't sound like that bad of an idea, actually. Yeah, don't you really only need like a dish sponge, some shampoo, or something like that? Any type of cleaner? Actually, I wouldn't say any type of cleaner. Body wash. And then some water. You just need something to wash and then rinse real fast. And then get like a towel or something like that. Hatchet. How am I supposed to get those batteries? Will be expensive after a while though. What's up? Steel Rhino? It's definitely interesting ideas. I would already have my car though, so I don't really need, and I can lock my doors, so that won't matter. The problem is, where would I go? Because there's so many places. Like, is there a place to like go somewhere with decent data or something? I probably wouldn't worry too much about this project though. I still want that challenge though of trying to do this project while living somewhere completely different. I think it'd be interesting on its own. Also, to be fair, I don't actually need to stream this project, so I mean, like, if I, like, let's just say if somehow I disappeared, and left, or something like that, and I didn't, I couldn't have access to the internet, I would just not do this project, or, so I wouldn't stream it. Oh, you can get a camping spot? I probably wouldn't drive it too much, to be honest with you. I mean, where would I go? The maintenance thing wouldn't be that bad. I didn't know you could do that with camping spots, so that's pretty sick. Shocky Milkius. I guess I could get a tart or like some kind of tent, possibly. Well, I'm not saying I'm not gonna drive it at all. I'm just saying that, I'm just not gonna drive it that much. If that makes sense. Thank you, Kamikaze. Some good chalky milk. Has anybody actually done that? Put an actual chocolate, like melted an entire chocolate bar and put it in? What would white chocolate milk taste like? Like white chocolate fudge in milk, what would that taste like? Or if you melted a bunch of those, like, what are those called again? Those... That really does not sound like that bad, actually. Wait, what about the camper, though? Aren't there any maintenance for the camper, too? Do you mean the camper as in like an actual camp? Like camping, like vehicle? Or do you mean like the camp spot itself has showers? I should just get me a laptop though, like I really should. If I'm doing coding, like if I'm gonna do programming, I should get myself a laptop to practice coding if I can't be here. Shoot. Oh well. I wasn't paying attention, like usual. I've always wondered how creepy I come off to people. Nice. Wait, how much are campers though? That's the real question. What's up, Koa? Kind of interesting that I get a few new people around midnight. Use camper for 5k. I could definitely save up for that. You'd be so funny. If I oh my god. Imagine if I use the money from the project. Oh my god, that'd be so funny. It's like, help me buy a used camper. Oh my god, that'd be so funny. I have not. I got that from my recommended though. Also, PvP is pretty fun. Or not PvP in general. Or PvP in general is pretty fun. Sort of. I was playing Bed Wars and PvP side was pretty fun. I was pretty decent at it. Yeah, that's what they... Mainly because I was going on overdrive because I never actually... I had to get used to... Imagine this. I had to get used to the Java controls of Minecraft, which I only played a couple times. I had to get used to the crafting, I had to get used to everything, I had to get used to Bed Wars, I had to get used to the PvP, I had to get used to bridging, I had to, yeah. I'm surprised I survived for like even a decent amount of time. Like, imagine if I was like, hey, I'm gonna go leave, can you guys just give me some money to buy a used camper? That'd be so funny. It was 1.8. It's pretty fun. I know how to butterfly click pretty well. I mean, I have some skills when it comes to like PC skill, like utilizing. What am I doing? Utilizing PC controls, I'm pretty decent at, just not that much in Minecraft. I could probably learn it very quickly though, especially since I already have some decent control when it comes to playing Minecraft. I could probably adjust to it pretty quickly. Just like me playing FPS games, I could probably beat all of my friends if I like actually wanted to put time into it. Knowing now, considering I benefit the most from practice, that's good to know. So it's like they don't want it's really sad when I get absolutely demolished and then my SI demon comes out for revenge. There's a reason I don't play multiplayer games, because my SI demon comes out very easily, which means I'm very vengeful. When it comes to me being absolutely slaughtered in a game, which brings out my SE inferior, which makes me want to like actually like kill you in the game, maybe outside of the game too. I don't know why I keep thinking I have to go get more. What's up, Dynamic, Mr. Golden Pig? Your name really weird. It was kind of cringe, actually. I wouldn't really say that, Koa. Not entirely. It's very dependent on what type of person it is. Like me, I invest a lot. I know friends. I have a friend that has over, I think it was like 200 games in their Steam. They play quite a few games. Let's just say that. I have a whole group of friends that basically play several games. Like, they're not really invested into one game or so. I know I'm practically invested into a couple games at a certain time, so like, I play a game, if I get that bored of it, I'll move on to another game, or something like that. It's like, I'm not really addicted to playing games, I'm addicted to getting good at games. It's weird. Or, I love the feeling of getting good at something. Let's just say that. It's... like, for example, like if I existed in the 80s or something like that, you know what game I would play? 2 games I would play. Arcade games mainly, because those are the big games. 80s, like, with arcade. Pac-Man or Galaga. I'm not kidding either. Out of the games I would play, Pac-Man or actually mainly Galaga. I think Galaga would be fun. Galaga's pretty fun actually. It's a good game. I've actually played a lot of games just thinking about it. Like, thinking about the range of games that I've played. I've played a lot of genres of games. It's kind of funny, they're not even mainstream games. This is probably one of the few mainstream games I've actually played that I still play. Beat Saber's obviously kind of an exception, because it's not really like those AAA games. I mean, it's still mainstream, but I mean like big title games. Even though Beat Saber's kind of, it's an indie game still though, so I guess you can kind of exclude that one, sort of. So yeah, like, it really depends on the person, especially what type you are. To be fair though, my type is pretty rare, so I mean, like, I naturally want to get good at something regardless of what game it is. I do not play any retro games. I think if I was lived in the 90s, I would probably play Smash Melee. What's up, Halo? I am 19. What's up, Rafi? Oh, 1.2 sextillion. Octillion. Novemtillion. Wait, no, it's... I don't remember. Decillion, undecillion, duodecillion, tridecillions. I don't even know why I remember this, actually. Why do I remember this? I should not have played Adventure Capitalist. That game ruined a good 200 hours of my life. Breaking the game and then re-breaking it again. Actually, no, not breaking it. Beating it and then breaking it. So I started, I actually don't remember if I started at 16 or 17, because it was actually around my birthday when I started this. So I started this world, I think I created this world when I was 16. I think I was 17 when I officially announced this project. Yeah, I was 17 when I announced this project. Is that Cleef? Wait, what? How much is considered a world? What do you mean by that? Oh, do you mean like this project? This map is the world. It's 47 million blocks. It's 862 by 862 by 64 if you count dimensions like that. Legend of Zelda. Mario would be an interesting game. I'd probably be doing speedrunning in that time though. Speedrunning would be the only interesting thing at that time besides maybe like Smash Melee. Super Smash Bros. Melee. I remember playing Melee. I literally like trying to remember. Of course my memory's super blurry, so give me like 20 minutes. I remember playing at my friend's house. They played Melee quite a bit. And I played, I think it was Pichu. They played Ganon. I 4-stocked both of them. And then we role reversed. I was Ganon, they were Pichu, and I 4-stocked them again. It was funny. I also beat them with Fox, which is interesting. God, Fox is so fun. I mean, they were using Falco and Marth, so yeah. And I don't know anything technical about Melee, so it was purely fundamentals of the game. It's pretty clunky when you don't use any technical things. That's what I noticed. It's super clunky without any form of. What's up, Juliana? RIP PS3. Hope my PS4 doesn't die. Biggest fear, honestly. Actually, no, it's not. I think my biggest fear is just somehow not having access to a backup. Okay, I think my bitrate's actually doing okay, for once. Speedrun, I know Super Mario 64 is definitely a game that I know is big in speedrunning for sure. I think the only genre I thought about getting back into is racing games. That's the game, it's probably the longest time I've spent into one genre of a game. I spent from 4 years old to 13 playing one genre. Imagine me, a person who consumes one genre of gaming for 9 years. Imagine how good at racing games I could be now. Like, I was pretty good at them. That includes like Mario, even Mario Kart. I was pretty good at Mario Kart Wii. I was pretty obsessive. I think it's when my SE Inferior started kicking in, I was like actually just trying to be the best at that point, which was like 11 years old, I think. Like 1.5 seconds from a world record. I was 11, using a Wii remote, not even a classic controller. If that says anything. From, I think it was Ghost Valley 2. If anybody actually remembers that game at all. Yeah. This is the only time I'm probably going to be talking about myself during the entire stream. It's kind of weird. I think it's because I'm cognitively transitioning. Actually, I've been cognitively transitioning this entire time. I think the past like 20 minutes. I literally switched from one side of my mind to another. Like I've literally switched to almost all three sides of my mind, or three conscious sides, or 3 sides of my mind. You probably haven't even noticed I switched between all 3 sides. At least sides that I can access without exploding mentally. I don't know, speedrunning, I know my friend thought about it's ironic though, because he could probably be very good at speedrunning even though he thinks I should be doing speedrunning, which is funny. I don't know, I just never had much interest in speedrunning. haven't seen much purpose in speedrunning. For me, at least. I mean, if I got into a game that was very early, like if I got into speedrunning when I was like 15 or 16, I think my gaming days are basically over after this. Maybe not entirely, but at least I'm gonna minimize them to, I'm gonna minimize it almost entirely. Because I need to actually do stuff, practice useful skills instead of just gaming. Like, I still have some skills within, like, I can still do, like, sales jobs and stuff, like, I can still do other things. It's just so difficult. You know, having this much focus, I guess, which is also technically willpower, is kind of a curse in a lot of ways, in one specific way, and that is juggling things. Because the more you focus on one thing, the less you can focus on other things. Remember that. Yeah. Gold records are pretty big on that game. On Minecraft. I'm not too sure though. I just don't like speedrunning that much. I'd rather just get really good at something instead of just speedrunning one thing. I'm not saying I have a life plan, but I kinda do. It's piecing together. Also, I'm gonna end the stream in 15 minutes, so yeah. I may do a 3-year montage. Sorry, I may do a, what is it called? A, subscriber special of 1 year, since this year has been incredibly impactful for my channel. 1 year recap, I guess you can call it. 3rd year recap. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I need to work from somewhere, which I'm planning on trying to do. If I can actually get a sales job, I'll stick to sales and then work from there. But if I can't do sales for some reason, I'll just get a normal job and then just work on programming or something like that. Or, I don't know. Either that, or I'm just gonna, like, just try to do programming and learn it as fast as possible and then try to do a job from there. I don't know how feasible that's gonna be, but honestly, I think it could work. I don't have a full set plan, I just need a full set career. Something. Literally, I can just work from there. If I can get some form of career going. Which I wish I would have known that I could have just gotten a normal job and then figured out what I wanted to do later, instead of trying to figure out what I wanted to do now. God, it's definitely something that hits really hard, actually. I wish I was told that. Just remember this quote. It's, don't think about what you want to do, think about what you need to do, and then figure out what you want later. That's what I wish I was told a while back. Yeah, stock market is pretty low at the moment. I could definitely look into the stock market. Are you sure those aren't bots? View bots or something? Because I know a lot of those just die off. A lot of those streams just die off after a while. Oh, never mind. I guess not. Were those actually real views? I swear, I thought maybe at one point they were actually real views. I mean, you could literally just... I don't know how to increase the speed every single like, but I know you could mess with the settings in Minecraft to make the pickaxe unbreakable. Or not make the pickaxe unbreakable, but I don't know. Actually, no, that wouldn't make any difference because the pickaxe doesn't. I don't think it loses durability if you try to hit bedrock. I could be wrong about that though. I'm not actually sure. 46. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I remember that person getting literally like thousands. Oh yeah, doing something with technology is very important. That's actually, like, the more and more I think about doing programming, the more and more I kind of want to do it because of the factors that it has in the future. Hood dog armor would be interesting. Dang, that's pretty insane actually. Did not know that. That's pretty insane as well, actually. To be fair, who wasn't expecting him to be a trillionaire? To be the first trillionaire? That's pretty soon. He's still underpaying his employees, my god. Cave is massive. think I'm gonna end the stream now. Ending it with some water. Okay, I'm gonna stop now before I stop, so I can actually stop myself. Oh, shoot. I'm gonna try to end it around 3 hours each. Have my stream. Yeah, I can't wait to finish this either. Great. I'll see you guys later.